Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships as we are on the public test server today for this Monday video. And we're going to be checking out the update 11.7, but specifically we're going to be looking at the Dockyard event, the return of the Puerto Rico, the Tier 10 Premium American Battle Cruiser. The Puerto Rico is kind of presented as a ship kind of furthering along the lines of Alaska, if you will. And Puerto Rico was the first Dockyard event ship in World of Warships. And if you're a newer player, you probably won't remember, well, you wouldn't know anything about that first Dockyard event. It happened in, I think, the Christmas of 2019, going into beginning of 2020. And it was an absolute dumpster fire. It was terrible. It was basically out of reach of, most all players within the game, unless you bought it outright for a ridiculous amount of gold. And because of how bad that Dockyard event was, it gave shape and format to more the current Dockyard events that preceded or followed that. I think, was it Odin was the Dockyard ship that followed after that? But it was a disaster. It was just really bad. Wargaming blamed it on poor communication. Well, they didn't blame it on. They apologized for poor communication. Jingles, Flamu had big videos on it, so on and so forth. So I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about that. But Wargaming has acknowledged that they messed up when they were trying to do that first Dockyard event. And so they want to bring it back as a way to sort of make things right with the community. And they're actually, if you already own the Puerto Rico, they're offering a really good incentive rewards, but not a lot of players have the Puerto Rico. So let's go ahead and go into the Dockyard, and where we learn about the ship's construction stages and obtain rewards, including Cruiser Puerto Rico, for completing the shipbuilding phases. Hopefully it works out loading. Okay, music has changed. Okay, I think it's coming. Any day now. So I don't want to escape because they have this like load-in screen that's like really cool. And I don't want to lose that. Okay. Generally, they have a cool loading screen. We'll see. There we go. So they're showing you the keel being laid. And okay, let's go. I'll talk a little bit about Puerto Rico as well in terms of the ship, but they're giving us a good overview here. High survivability, large set of consumables, efficient AA defenses. This time, American cruiser Puerto Rico is being built at the Dockyard. Her 12 305mm main battery guns are housed in 4 triple turrets, and they can unleash a weighty salvo. So 2 on the front, 2 on the stern. The Dockyard combat missions will cease to be available in 75 days. Event ends in 82 days. Okay, this is my first time looking at this, so I'm seeing it with fresh eyes, just as well as with most of you. Okay, what is the Dockyard? Here you'll be able to see all shipbuilding phases. You can obtain Tier 10 Puerto Rico and other rewards by completing them. The shipbuilding process is divided into phases. You obtain rewards for each of them, and completing the entire shipbuilding process will reward you with the ship. Phase completion. The shipbuilding process comprises of 40 phases. You can complete 34 shipbuilding phases by progressing through Dockyard combat missions. You can find the Dockyard combat missions in the corresponding section of the port, so we'll look at that. The balloons can be used to instantly complete phases. So, you can whale entirely, but that's 40 phases. So, is that the most we've had for a Dockyard event so far? Usually, I guess if it's Tier 10, they add more phases, but they're kind of creeping it back up again. Final reward, Puerto Rico. Complete all the shipbuilding phases to obtain Cruiser Tier 10 Puerto Rico. You can obtain Puerto Rico only upon completing any 6 phases or more by spending doubloons. So the minimal requirement is you're going to have to buy 6 phases, and there's going to be these starter packs we'll check out here. And if you continue to complete Dockyard combat missions after you've built the Puerto Rico, you will receive 250 steel for each additional phase. So if you want to quote-unquote buy steel, then you can just throw a bunch of doubloons at the Dockyard event, basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the starter packs. The starter packs are only available at the beginning of the shipbuilding process, so that's important to note. So let's break down some math here. So the first thing they have here is let's look at smooth sailing, okay? This is the 6 shipbuilding phases. You'll have to minimally at least purchase 6 phases, and here they're offering it to you at what's going to be a discounted rate. So let me check and see what that difference is. Yeah. So if you bought the individual phases, it would be 1,750 for each phase. So times 6, that's 10,500 doubloons or gold, where you can actually get a discount at the very beginning for 7,500 doubloons. This is what I recommend you doing if you want to partake in the Dockyard event. If you're a newer player, you just started playing, let's say, the last 3 or 4 months, unless you've been playing a lot, this Dockyard event is probably going to be very difficult for you, and I'll explain why when we look at the combat missions. Just purchasing starter pack on those. Okay, so yeah, so 7,500 doubloons. So you want to go for the smooth sailing. Note that this is all on public test server. They might change it when it comes to live server. I will do a video talking about it once it hits the live server, because this is kind of what Wargaming did last time. They got them into trouble. They showed it on the public test server, and people were like, "Oh, community contributors like this is looking great." Jingles thought it was dandy, and then when it came to live server, it just was complete opposite. Full head, 12 shipbuilding phases for 12,000 doubloons. So basically, your savings there, if I can do math, it'd be 21,000 doubloons, and you're getting it for 12,000 doubloons instead. So technically, you could buy 18 shipbuilding phases right off the bat. Do I recommend you doing that? No, I usually just recommend just go for the bare minimum if you are wanting to participate in the Dockyard. Okay, so coal, free XP, elite commander XP, premium, some economic bonuses. It's probably gonna be these first several here. This is distant voyagers. Some camouflages, some more coal, free XP. They're gonna elite commander XP, gift container. Some more of the economic bonuses of each type. 3 days premium, stars and stripes. Gift container, coal. So they're kind of to repeat, but they're making things even increasing the amount as you go in. For XP, you get to get the tier 7 Commonwealth destroyer, the Huron, upon completion of phase 25. Yeah, there's 2 gift containers, more economic bonuses. These are the rare ones, if I'm not mistaken. They're the blue gift containers, distant voyager containers. Okay, so these are like the the unique, so you only get to pick up 2 of them. So you go from rare to unique. These are like, okay, but they stacked them both together, so you still get all 4. So it's kind of unclear how Wargaming, how they'll make the rare and unique economic bonuses available, because you can't just outright buy them for coal like you can the common and special. So I'm really hoping Wargaming never just puts those up for sale for doubloon. I think doubloons that could be bad for the game. 10,000 coal, 4,000 research bureau points. So if you don't have access to research bureau yet, if you pick this shipbuilding phase up, then that means you should actually be able to gain access to the research bureau. 2,000 steel, and then Puerto Rico. Okay, so there's a lot of shipbuilding phases. Here you can see a whole list. So, I mean, if you think about it, let's see, with 7,500 doubloons. I mean, you did get to pick up a tier 7 destroyer, and you could pick up a tier 10 cruiser. So sometimes these events are nice if you're trying to knock out and take earn more premium ships. So then your list gets smaller and smaller if you're trying to pick up special premium ships from the Christmas containers that Wargaming does each year. All right, let's look at the combat missions, and let's go to Shipyard. Okay, normally it's called Dockyard. It's a little different this time. Wow, you actually get doubloons. Okay, that's interesting. Normally, okay, yeah, here. Normally they have the shipbuilding phases, like you pick them up, maybe by completing a specific combat mission. But they have 5 locked in that. Okay, so it's still 4 phases or 4 sections overall. Okay, these 50,000 damage. Yeah, this tier 5 to tier 10, so that's why if you're a newer player, it can be more difficult. Base XP. Okay, so this first mission chain, I mean, you can knock it out really quick. Ships with 100 times. Normally what you see is a lot of players playing co-op to knock these out quickly. Final reward. They're rewarding a bunch of doubloons. 8,000. I wonder if this is just for the dockyard. Because, like, you would be getting your money back and then more. Like I said, this is a public test server, so don't take this as being serious as when it comes to the live server. Wow, these are really easy. Such, like, I mean, it's universes apart compared to the first Dockyard event that Wargaming did when it hit the live server for Puerto Rico. Complete the preceding damage 10 ship modules. XP. Okay, these are all easy. Sus. Okay. All right, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm not 100% because I'm not wargaming. I don't know what they're thinking. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% positive. There's no way that this is what the shipyard is gonna look like. Dockyard event's gonna look like when it comes to the live server. Okay, this is what I think. Okay, it's probably super easy because it's the public test server. If you notice the timeline, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 days, they're trying to make it where basically you pick up, you can pick up the ship as soon as possible within a very limited timeline. So what they do on the public test server is that this is only up from Thursday till Sunday, I think. And so they're making it super, like, stupid easy to pick up all these rewards. And the reason they have all these doubloons is they throw doubloons at you on the public test server. Like, if you notice when we were back in port, like 46,000 doubloons. This isn't what I have on my actual account. And so actually I could totally just go here and I could whale both of these. So you can see the ship being built a little bit. Yeah, so it's just super easy combat missions. I was like, wait, is Wargaming just trying to make it really right with player base? Like, no, you would knock those out stupid quick. So it's just for a public test server. This is my first time looking at it, so I'm figuring things out with you guys as you're watching this. So if I hold the right mouse key, that's what's giving me like this cool look without all the overlay. Oh, sorry, Discord's on. That was me. I did not switch it to Do Not Disturb before recording this video. One of the things about Puerto Rico is that she's known to have a very trolly citadel. Like, it's very hard to citadel the Puerto Rico. Like, it's really difficult to citadel the Tier 8 American premium battleship, the Massachusetts. So, and she's got a lot of guns. So that usually means she's not as accurate because of the number of guns. She's got the radar. I think I said about defensive AA. At least I thought I saw that when we were looking. So when you whale, when I'm saying whale, if you're a newer player or new to gaming, being a whale means you throw a lot of doubloons at the game. But on the public test server, didn't come out of my own pocket. You just get given a whole bunch of doubloons so you can like test and try different things out in the game. Like I couldn't go to the armory and just pick out any premium ship I wanted for doubloons. Like on the public test server, it's not the same. They're not there. Maybe just the two or tier 3 ships. What are those? I'm kind of curious what those were. It's like the engine. Because if I'm probably gonna play around, I'm recording this on Friday, but I'm probably gonna play around the public test server, get those doubloons back, those precious doubloons that I didn't spend it out of my own pocket to get. So public test server is a good place if you want to test out each of the upcoming updates. So like they have the camera change. That looks like it's been really good stuff. All right, 17, then 18, and then when we collect the reward, it's gonna be like so many things. And we'll open it up for the fun of it. So this is in terms of the rewards you get, it's probably going to stay the same. I really doubt Wargaming will change anything in terms of the rewards you get here from each shipbuilding phase. Not when we're looking at the shipyard combat missions. Okay, that's just for public test server. They're not going to give you all those doubloons and stuff back and make the combat missions like stupid simple. So if you whale and you pick up the first 18 phases, this is what it's going to look like. And usually also, you don't get to play the ships either on the public test server. So even if I do go through this and get to the Puerto Rico, we won't get it. Oh, I've got stuff in the way. I'm trying to read that. If you already have Puerto Rico in your port, you will receive a Puerto Rico certificate that can be exchanged for valuable items in the armory. I'll try to throw that up on the screen here. It's really, really good stuff. Don't choose coal. If you really want coal, choose the steel option, and with steel, you get more coal. So that's no-brainer. And you can pick up a research bureau ship too, because they're going to give you a ton of research bureau points. But not a lot of people have Puerto Rico. You don't see this ship very much. Okay. So then we can even go into here. And see what we got there. Alright, we're still having the shipyard. Oh, it's annoying. So that's what you can expect. So that's what you can expect to see when you go to look at the dockyard. But these combat missions, we don't know what they're going to look like yet. These are just for the public test server, giving you doubloons and all that stuff back. They're super simple. Trust me, if you've checked out any other previous dockyard combat missions, they're going to be a lot harder than this, but nowhere near as hard as the first dockyard event with when Puerto Rico first arrived World Warships back in 2019 and 2020, because that was ridiculous. So, okay, I'm not going to talk much longer because of the sounds playing in the background, but I can probably just lower it for you guys in post-editing. But that's the first look at the dockyard. When it does come to the live server, I'll do a video on it, but I just kind of want to give you a brief look at what it looks like if you're a newer player, get a brief glimpse of what the dockyard shipyard will look like when it does come in update 11.7. So we're going to wrap the video up there. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. But if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Take care.